joining us for his weekly interview, Coach A.J. Cisco. Coach, how are you?
I'm good, Charles. Thanks for having me again.
It's, of course, always good coming after another win. The guys played well. Thought you cleaned up a few things and got better overall than from week 1 to week 2, right?
We did. We felt we played much more improved. We cleaned up a lot of things, especially up front, offensive line-wise, which is what our goal was the whole time, is to make sure we play better. We still did a lot of dumb things, but those things that we got to fix as coaches and go back to the drawing board. And we kind of simplified some things for our kids for the next couple of weeks, make it a little easier. We're trying to throw some stuff at them that was pretty much hard to grasp for them at times. So our kids responded last week, played hard, played well, executed. We had big plays in all 3 phases of the game. There's still some things offensively we got to clean up. We got the ball at the 9, first and goal, came away with 3 points. That's unacceptable. Get down to the 2, and it takes us 2 plays to score from the 2. That's also unacceptable. And those are our things that we got to clean up, and those are things you're going to see throughout the entire season in a shortened season and no practice leading up to it. Defensively, we played pretty well. Didn't like the 2 touchdown drives and us bailing them out with our own penalties. And then special teams. I mean, got a block kick out of that. Braden kicked field goal. So it was kind of a complete game, but we still got to get a lot better. I mean, if we're going to play with the big dogs in the state, we've got to get better every week, and that's what we've been telling our kids from day one.
Yeah. Obviously, Sean had a much better go of it this week. As you talked about, the up front was a little better. Obviously it opens up the offense a ton if you guys can run for 100 and 150 yards, right? Yeah,
and Coach Hayes does a good job. He wants to be as balanced as we can, but we're not going to make any bones about it. Like, we're going to line up and hand the ball off and go try to punch people in the face. And if we can do that with success, then it makes it a lot easier to throw the football, and we can take shots. And that's what we talked to Mello about after that first week. We took 3 or 4 shots, and we missed every one of them. And those are touchdown plays for us against Bloomfield. And he hit on his 3 big pass plays. When we took our shots, he hit them, and 2 of them were touchdowns, and 1 put us down inside the 10 that we ended up scoring on as well. So, I mean, I think we only threw it 12 times, and we were 6 of 12 for 170 yards, which is great for us. I mean, we're not going to sit there and chuck it all over the yard, but when we do take shots, we want to take big shots at it.
Yeah, a lot of positive things for him. I thought he hit more than he didn't. Obviously, there's another teaching moment on the interception right before the half there.
That one drove me nuts.
Yeah. So, but I mean,
and those are the things that we're going to get in these situations. This kid's never been there before, and you go back to the week before, he makes a great play right before the end of the first half, and we got the ball down there. We've milked the clock, so they're not getting another drive at it, and we still got 2 plays. And as soon as he throws picks, he comes over, and I said, Mello. And he goes, I know, Coach, live to fight another down. It's like, okay, we're making strides in the right direction.
Yeah, and I'm sure there was a little bit of you guys had gotten close the last time, had to kick a field goal, and you guys were trying to be aggressive there and wanted to get in the end zone. So I'm sure there was probably that in the back of the mind.
There was in that. And I mean, in tip your hat to Ruidoso, we call the pass concept. They played it well. And you tip your hat to them and let's say, hey, let's go back at it at 3rd down, or if we got to kick points on this and get it on 4th down, so be it. I mean, we didn't execute as well as we should have those first couple of downs anyways. So it's all growing for our young kids. Our older kids are doing a great job being leaders out there and taking care of each other. It's pretty cool. We talk about FOE and family over everything, and you can kind of see it in this group of kids, even though it's a small group, about 31, is how well they respond to each other and take care of each other and encourage each other the entire time.
Yeah, and we also got to see a little bit, the skill of the wide receiver group. Emilio had a good night. Brandon had a really good night. And Wedlow's tip to himself.
That was impressive.
Yeah,
that's impressive. I was telling our kids, so there's not anybody else on the team to make that play for us. So
yeah,
and then that's a credit to Aaron who understands situations. PAT, they can't return it for points, so just throw it in the air. We don't care what happens. Just throw it, give our kids a chance. And Wedlow made a heck of a play, and it was cool to watch that young kid do something like that. And then you got Brandon and Emilio making great big touchdown plays for us that kind of broke that game open and kind of sealed the deal.
And then defensively, you had a number of different guys that played well. Austin LaSalle had a couple of sacks where they basically turned him loose, and he had straight runs to the quarterback. And there were 3 or 4 other guys in the defensive line and linebacker core that really played well for you guys.
Yeah, Austin had a couple of big sacks, and I mean, he's fun to watch play because he goes 100 miles an hour. So the most impressive play of him on that night is he had a cross-field tackle that was impressive. Watching him run down the tailback. So he played great. Mason Tripp was our D lineman of the week. Young kid, only sophomore, big, strong kid, played really well. Getting hands on, make sure our linebackers get to run free. And then Raynard, of course, for the second week. I mean, he's a big impact guy that we got to come here, and it's fun to watch him run around. It makes it a lot easier in the back end when you got that dude around there that can run and control it, and he gets downhill and makes a lot of really good open field tackles for us.
And then Metcalf's read on the interception was really, really well done.
Yeah, and then shoot, we were telling him you should have scored, man.
Because the rest of the team was rotating to the other side. Yeah.
You should have scored, man. But I mean, that's a big play. Those are the things that Coach Felsetti and his staff have done a great job of making sure that when we get those opportunities, we take advantage of them. And then it's our job offensively to make sure we capitalize on those things. And we did an okay job. It's getting better. It's still not where we want to be to make sure we put points on the board every time we touch it.
Yeah. So now you go into a week. Again, this is very similar to Bloomfield in that you don't really have a whole lot of information on the Silver team, who unfortunately had to sit out the first couple weeks of the season because of a COVID issue for them. But they're excited to get out there and play, and I'm sure they're going to be excited to try and knock off a 2-0 team.
Yeah, and it's going to go back to the kind of thing that Ruidoso had. I mean, they're a 4A school and we're a 5A school, so Silver's going to play with a chip on their shoulder. We know nothing about them. I know they got a really good quarterback who's either committed or signed to Western right now, named Walker Wenzel, and that's about all we know about him. He's a really good athlete, can spin it. They're going to be well coached. I know a bunch of those guys from my time over there on that side of the state and have good relationships with those guys. And I know their kids are chomping at the bit to play, and they're excited to get to play us. I mean, if you're going to get to play, why don't you play somebody that's going to be okay and raise your game up to another level? So this is our first week going, so we're going in blind. We'll figure it out as we go, and hopefully our kids come prepared and play well like they did last week.
And, I mean, it's you guys obviously look at tape, and you probably have some, in a regular week, you would have some things that you're going to try to focus on, but as per usual, you guys want to focus on the things that you can do well, right?
Yeah, and that's pretty easy to say this year in a shortened season. In a normal year, we'd have 6-7 games on film on somebody and have a concept of what we want to do defensively or offensively and change to take advantage of it. But in this shortened season, we talk to our seniors. We want to make sure this entire year is for our seniors. They understand that we reward them for their loyalty to this program for 4 years. And at the same time, we're using it as a building stone for our young kids to get reps for next August when we get to play it again and hopefully a regular season. And do those things. So it's a ton of focus on us. It kind of looks like old school spring ball that you get the colleges to do. Yeah. So we spend a lot more time focused on us and how we do things technique-wise, fundamentally, more than the X's and O's.
Yeah. The one nice thing, usually when you guys are practicing early in the morning, it's like summertime and it's hot, and this year, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the spring ball stuff. I mean, we can get rid of this forever and just play normal football in the fall because – I froze this morning. It was like 26 degrees when we started, and I was not prepared for that because I just like, where's the 6 degrees? I'll be good. Yeah, and then the wind blowing yesterday.
Yeah.
We don't get those issues in the fall, so we need to just make sure this happens in the fall of every year going forward because those September and October mornings when it's about 60 degrees is pretty nice to get a practice in before it gets really hot.
Yeah. Well, you've had a shout-out every week. You got a shout-out for somebody this week?
Did I give one to Dr. Reese at Alamogordo?
You did that. You got him last week for the mouthpieces.
I'm sure I'll get another one at some point. So I'll get them, and we'll get them taken care of on our social media. Like I said, that's a huge thing for this community to rally around our programs and take care of us. And not just us. There's other programs that are benefiting from other people in the community and other businesses. And like I said, I've always told you is the beauty of a one-school town is the people love their sports. They love it. We're excited. Next week we get to have a home game, and hopefully we stay in the yellow or maybe go green and get more fans in. But people get to come watch the game next Friday night at Tiger Stadium, and hopefully we were only allotted 80 tickets for this game in silver.
Yeah.
So all the kids received their tickets, and that was it. It will be streamed. If anybody wants to watch it, I'll have the link. It'll be posted on our social media accounts, and we hope to get a big crowd out there next Friday.
Yeah, let's hope that everything goes well between now and then, and we get to have some fun next Friday, and hopefully the bowl game will be played here too. I mean, we can cross our fingers.
Yeah, we can cross our fingers on that. I was kind of encouraged by the NMA saying they were going to release it on next Wednesday or Thursday. For us, we kind of got a mindset, so we're not sitting around waiting, trying to figure out what we're playing. We can kind of make arrangements for it. But that's something we're not really worried about. We're worried about silver this week and then get Deming next week and make sure we take care of ourselves. We want to make sure this season's taken care of for our seniors and then make sure we're preparing for August of 2021.
Absolutely. And I should also mention as well, you guys have had freshmen and JV football getting some stuff going on over the last couple of weeks, in terms of the lower class, because, I mean, those are the guys that are coming up.
Those are the guys coming, and we got a game tomorrow against Roswell at 4 o'clock. It is first come, first serve. If anybody wants to come watch our young kids play. And it's one of those unique years. They're only going to get 2 games this year. So we did an intra-squad scrimmage with them last week. Tomorrow night they'll get a game. They'll do another intra-squad next Thursday during spring break. And then they'll get their last game against Goddard on Tuesday, I think, the 30th. Here. Both games are here.
And you like what you've seen from your younger guys so far?
Yeah, it's encouraging. It's one of those things we haven't got to spend a whole lot of time with them. We have to be so separate in what we do that our coaches don't get to go to their practices anymore. We don't get to have a whole lot of interaction with them. We got to mess with them and work with them in the pod situations, and so that was encouraging. But from this point on, once we started 2 weeks ago, we haven't had any interaction with them. So that's a struggle for us in finding the balance, but like I said, they're doing a good job. They show up every day. They're getting their weight workouts in. They're getting better. They're learning a lot with those freshmen. a lot of stuff they would have not had to learn as freshmen. Now they're having to learn it real fast. So it's encouraging. We're excited for those young groups to come through and replace the senior class.
Yeah, and I'm sure things are in a far better situation than they were 4 years ago for this Tiger football program.
It is. It's been a long grind, and I told you that from day one. It's going to be a long grind to build this thing back up and get it to where it needs to be. And it's not just our program. It's not just our kids and what they do. It's the people in this community that support it and back it and throw, I don't want to say throw their money at it, but just help build this thing up all the way from ground. That's why we give those shout-outs to those businesses that take care of us. It's huge. If we want to make this program an elite program in the state, we got to have everybody in this community rally around it.